Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on? Jamal Hassell here. How you doing today? Today I've been talking about motocross, the life of a motocross rider, what is required, behind the scenes. There's a lot of testing involved for supercross, a lot of testing, training. You got to be on a good diet. Riders have to attend to photo shoots. You know what I mean? They have to attend to autograph sessions. They have various obligations to meet and demands to meet. What we see on the Saturday night is the finished product of what the riders have done through the week. And they put everything on the line through the week. Put the body on the line. They go through weight training, you know, rigorous weight training, cycling, swimming, running, dieting, mental preparation, testing the bike for days and hours, trying to get the setup as close, as close as possible, so when they get to the race, is there any minor adjustments to be made? Motocross is a tough sport in the world of motocross, and you have to be mentally tough in order to make progress and understand motocross. You have to be mentally tough if you are to get involved in motocross, especially professional and professional motocross and supercross. What the riders are going through on a weekly basis just to get that edge, testing out lap time, trying to get that extra speed through the whoops, going through the corners, trying to get that extra speed, going up to a jump, scrub, and staying extra low to save extra time, every little inch they could get. And this season, the 450 class is stacked, the 250 class is stacked. In Supercross, you had like Ryan Villapoto, Ryan Dungey, Ken Roxon, and James Stewart, who were the main key players at the front consistently. And whichever one of them riders got a little bit of edge, they exploited it and used it against the others. And what I mean is that Ryan Villapoto, he's got the raw speed and the strength. So what he was doing is capitalizing on James Stewart and Ryan Dungey and Ken Rocks and not getting the best of starts. So the man that Villapoto was, he would sprint to the front, sprint real hard, open up a lead early, and then, maintain the pace, because he knows, the other riders that, he gets the start that makes this race that much easier. And the other riders, by the time they come through the pack, is pretty much up front in cruise control, going towards the finish line. And when we look at the 250 class this year in Supercross, it was stacked as well. Jason Anderson took over his class. He showed raw pace, speed, and tenacity. But the work that these guys put in behind the scenes is what we, a lot of us, don't see. So when you really get to see that, the work that goes on, the dieting, the testing, tying different tires, photo shoots, autograph sessions, it's a combination, mental preparation, coming through the process of an injury, getting sick through the week sometimes, these riders have to endure that. So, basically, like, when they get on the track, all the hard work, it's like one shot on that Saturday night. You gotta put it all on the line. Everybody, only one person could win the main event. Everybody wants to win, but not everybody wins. And then those that come out victorious, they got a target on their back, and they gotta come out the next week and do it again. Like Ryan Villapoto, being in this position, and easy is on top. He's got a target on his back, but Ryan Villapoto, he has his mind together, and he comes out, wins a race, gets back to the drawing board, works again, and makes those improvements with his trainer Alden Baker, comes back again and stamps his authority. This year's Supercross is pretty exciting, seeing James Stewart get more wins, but again, he wasn't, a few bike failures, and he's been more consistent than he has been in years, but he wasn't consistent enough to win the championship. But this is one of his better seasons I have seen in the last 4 years. Ryan Dungey, Mr. Consistency, he rides comfort zone. He doesn't go out of that comfort zone at all. But out of his struggling with bike setup, that's what it is. And when you find these riders, if the bike setup is off, a lot of them are not getting pushed the envelope, because they know they fear having a bad crash or something. So bike setup is fundamental and important to a supercross rider. We have to really understand that where bike setup really sets in. That's key and fundamental, so we can't overlook that, the bike setup. Just remember that bike setup is real important in Supercross. If it's off just an inch, these riders choicy, that could be that much just an adjustment in the bike setup could save you half a second, could mean the difference between a second or half a second in speed wise. But we have to appreciate what these riders do on a Saturday night when we come out. We see the show, you know what I mean, and these riders have got bonuses on the line, salaries, deals. Some riders, and then get into the outdoors. Some riders are on the last year of the contract, so they got the pressure of having to perform, or they'll be without a ride. They'll be looking for a ride. So there's various things motocross and supercross riders look for. That they go through, other than the training and the dieting and the testing. They gotta perform up to a high standard. They gotta get on the box. They gotta win, especially a factory rider. It's gotta win. You know what I mean? To keep his factory ride, or at least top three, because if you're not depending on in the top three, pretty much like you'll be going. You know what I mean? But Jake Wyman's got a factory ride, but I don't know how long he's getting held on to that. I don't see him holding on to that long. He isn't performing at all. He's still got a chance to do it outdoors, but he still hasn't shown it. You know what I mean? So and then you have the pressures of being like Cam Roxon. I would say he's a rookie, and he's having fun right now. You know what I mean? And he's enjoying the pressure. You know what I mean? It's showing that he could be in as a top guy now. He's showing it outdoors. I think if he stays healthy, he'll win the outdoor championship, and if he keeps on working, he's got a good training program as well with Alden Baker. So, you know what I mean? Ever since he went with Alden Baker, his training just stepped up, his fitness levels that up. He could run the pace outdoors for 30 minutes plus 2 laps. That's the difference between him last year, only 250, and now only 450. It's his strength. You know what I mean? He had the speed on the 250 as well, but he didn't have the strength. But now, since it came with Alden Baker, he's strong. He could last 230 millimeters plus 2 laps. You know what I mean? He could come from behind. It's coming from behind and charging the track and passing Dungy. You know what I mean? And it's past Stewart too. So basically, there's a mental preparation too. These riders are trying to get the mental edge on each other. Every little edge they could get, they'll go for it. That's why when a rider's not in tip top shape, it's revealed in his racing. And anytime that is revealed in his racing, riders will capitalize on that and smell blood in the water like a shark. So, motocross is a mental game, and the life of a motocross rider ain't easy at all. You know what I mean? But it's a beautiful sport. You know what I mean? It is fun, but it takes hard work and dedication. And like I just said, like being in that position when you gotta win, and there could be pressure on you. But like Ryan Villapoto, the way he answers, he goes out and wins more races. That's how he does it. But like I said, Ken Roxon is having fun as the rookie, and it showed his speed approach. Ryan Dungey, his bike setup is not comfortable with that, so it's not pushing to the full capability that he has. So it's pretty much out of the loop right now, and he's losing grip on the championship. So he's gonna have to get that bike sorted out immediately and get comfortable on that bike. Riders' comfort is what counts. The more comfortable they are, the faster they will go. If they're not comfortable, I know there's James Stewart, Ryan Dungey. If they're not comfortable, they're not going to push over the envelope too much. You know what I mean? James Stewart was younger, he pushed everything, but now, his bike setup. It's always been there, but he's a little bit younger, and sometimes when you're young, you're a little bit more aggressive. Now James Stewart's a little bit more older, he's less aggressive. Still got the skill, tenacity, and speed. But that bike setup being off, it makes a big difference. Just the slightest of tweaks in the forks and the suspension. So guys, that's my summation for today. Have a nice day. Nice talking to you.